Everybody get your fucking hands up.
I really care about leaving a trail of goodness wherever we can. Caring makes you want to work harder. Creativity is a game changer. That's true of society, in advertising, and in life. Great advertising triggers an emotion in you. It has purpose. It touches a nerve, and that provokes a reaction. I set up Droga 5 because I really believe in the power of advertising, but I believe in the power of advertising that's in sync with what consumers want. We win more business, not because of pitching, but because clients say, "We like the work you're doing." Before the term viral video came out, we used the mass media to our advantage. The greater the pressure and expectation, the more I relish the opportunity. I just love the idea of writing for different personalities all the time. Just because you can do something, it doesn't mean you need to. Restraint is something I admire. We're in the business of influence, and if we're going to be in partnership with anybody, I want it to be with people who have amazing access and influence. We're very much an advertising agency, but it's not about creating ads as we know it. To be honest, while every market is very different, we all still fundamentally move and inspired by similar human truths: love, fear, belonging, desire, and so on. Creativity has got to have some edge to it, doesn't it? Advertising is full of great thinkers. This is a powerful industry and does a lot more than we take credit for. Each consumer has the power of their wallet and their voice. They can exercise that. My first job in advertising was actually in the mailroom of Grey Advertising in Sydney. Visuals are compelling, but sometimes the only way to get your point of view and purpose across is through words. Great copy can be embedded in any medium, any technology. Beanbags and softball matches and a cool Twitter handle doesn't make young people want to work at your office. I believe in creating ideas that consumers actually want to engage in, creating movements with our thinking and not bombarding them with submission. Sometimes the best ideas will come in the least inspiring places. It's not about being the biggest or the place with the most pins in a map. We want to be the most influential. We talk about trying to build the most influential entity in the world. I'm not embarrassed to be in advertising, but I'm embarrassed by a lot of advertising. We work in an industry where people invent technology to avoid what we create. If people know they're being sold to, you can celebrate the sell. I secretly wish I had experienced advertising the Mad Men period. If we turn on our best, where do we go from there? Australians are gypsies by nature and unfortunate enough to experience different regions of the world. There are certain people throughout my career earmarked as smart people I would like to work with, and I'm not just talking about advertising people. The ingredients for great advertising haven't changed since the Mad Men era. Brands win if their advertising is relevant and people like it. It's not rocket science. The best ads tell great stories. They look and feel like the content you're already consuming. They invite you in. They make you laugh. They teach you something. They also sell. You put choice on the table. You change the whole game. Everything is about control. If an ad is interesting to you, you'll have the conversation with the brand. If it's not, it's a waste of time. I don't want to spread myself so thin that I achieve nothing. The first brand that can purpose-build great stories for people that can target in a relevant but not creepy way and understand that it's the individual that matters, not the algorithm. Is the first brand to win mobile and possibly the future. I'm kind of like both of my mother grew up wanting to save the world, and my father grew up wanting to rule the world. I can say firsthand, Under Armour is a values-based people company, and this hasn't deviated for any administration. If you can allow yourself to do more good with your creativity by being successful, then that's a great thing. There's so much advertising television that I find just lazy, just so lazy. I'm like, why are they doing that? One day, when I have advertising out of my system, I want to be Prime Minister of Australia. We're communicators, we're problem solvers, and we're lateral thinkers, and there's nothing that can't be improved with that. The world needs us, and we want to be needed. The majority of advertising, I'd say creatives are creative people, but we've disciplined ourselves to think within traditional formats. I want to change that. Being the youngest of 5 boys, with a younger sister, being the only one who didn't go to university, I had to prove it was the right decision to go into advertising. Our ambitions are not limited to quarterly results. Our ambitions are linked to a belief in what we do. And one of the definite privileges of success is being able to see beyond yourself. Like anyone scared of failure, that drives you to work really hard. The thing I believe is we are good if our peers think we're great, but we are great if the real world thinks we're good, and there's a huge difference. We're moved by emotions and characters and stories. We love that. If you don't have reservations, you're a fool. You can't go blind into something. I would put down everything in my career to the fact that I cared about what I do, or work with what I make. The average billboard has no more than 8 words. It takes a lot of effort to make a beer, rice, or shampoo scene special in 8 words. It seems like not a lot of the world's issues can be solved by big government, but they can be solved by brands, and brands putting their best foot forward need advertising. When I first made some comment, when we launched that part of our purpose was to do stuff that has social ripples, lots of people said it was such a glib thing to say. Actually believe that. I don't want Droga 5 to be the biggest agency. I want it to be the best. People who want to express themselves effectively can learn a lot from the hard-won concision of the copywriter. You hire well and just make sure you have enough runway for everyone to grow in the company's success. It creates loyalty and opportunity, really. I am the most competitive person you will ever meet. I think the best way to show appreciation for things going well is to make things better. I haven't lost that quest and that thirst to do something great. Just knowing you're putting something out there that could take on a greater life, that's our sweet spot. That's what we try to do. Over the years, advertising had become very lazy, very visual. Visuals are important, yes, but as a part of the story. I don't want to sound too worthy here, but I want to do something that honestly contributes, something positive to society. I was in a bank meeting in London once that was so tortuous. I had a flash of inspiration for another client. Why can't I prove that advertising can manifest itself in a way that doesn't necessarily mean television ads, but changing behavior and creating a brand out of something that already exists? Generosity is as much showing your vulnerability as it is your passion for something.